is Republican Congressman Tom Cole of Oklahoma. He's a former chairman of the NRCC, whose job it is, of course, to get more Republicans elected to Congress. Congressman Cole, thanks for being one of the few willing to come on TV today, sir.
Oh, happy to come, actually.
Well,
hey, my committee won last night. The NRCC won out in Utah.
You got your one house race.
Congratulations to Steve Stivers and the NRCC.
There you go. The story is Utah, right? No. Let me start with this. Trumpism was on the ballot. What did you learn?
Well, first of all, I learned that normal is still normal. Look, the party in power has lost both the Virginia and the New Jersey governor race 5 times in a row after they've taken power. So in that sense, there's not much new here. It is a canary in the coal mine, there's no doubt about it, but it's a normal canary. Now, the real question is, can you do something between now and the midterms to actually change the results there? And for most candidates, most of the time, it's been no, or most parties, I should say. So we've got a lot to do. I think the most important thing, I mean, members need to be ready. I think ours are. We have really exceptional incumbents in these swing seats. The committee needs to be ready. I really think ours is. It's 5-0 in these special elections, and Stivers and his crew at the NRCC are unbelievable. But finally, you've got to actually deliver on the promises you made when you ran as a majority. And we stumbled badly on health care, in my opinion. We have an opportunity to redeem ourselves on taxes. That doesn't guarantee victory, but it puts you in a lot better position if you've got something to run on. We don't right now.
Let me bring up taxes here, because it seems to me this morning, while the fierce urgency of now, I assume, is with all of you when it comes to, oh my gosh, you guys got to get this done. At the same time, it's every Republican for themselves. And I got to think many of those suburban Republican incumbents saw the Northern Virginia turnout and are probably popping tums and thinking, I'm going to have to fight hard against the leadership on some of this tax bill. Does this complicate your efforts to get 218 votes on this tax bill now?
You know, I actually think it works the opposite way around. Look, when you're in a tough fight, in a tough environment, the smart advice is when you're walking through the valley of death, hang together and keep moving. And that's what I see the Ways and Means Committee doing. Look, they're not putting up any Republican amendments. They're voting down most of the Democratic amendments that are just unacceptable to us, and they're hanging together. I think the conference will do the same thing. Our people know this is important politically, and frankly, they believe in it philosophically. So I think we'll be fine in the House. My guess is in the Senate that, quite frankly, not to chastise my friends, but you fumble on the 1-yard line once, you can't do it again in a big game. So I think they'll get this done, too. I think we have a great chance of getting it through. It doesn't guarantee you a majority, but it gives you an accomplishment. When you guys do the roundtables at the end of the year, they finally got something big done. That's important, actually. And it's important for morale because, around here, success, breeds success, failure breeds failure. We need a big success. We've had a lot of, little successes, a lot of singles and doubles, but we need a home run. Tax reform is a home run. I think we'll hit it.
What do you do with the president? Run with him? Run against him? What's the lesson here?
I've always told people, run your own campaign. Presidents affect the environment no matter what you do, for good or ill. They just do, and they affect it in different ways in different places. So one catch-all strategy doesn't make a lot of sense. The most important thing, I worked with a lot of candidates that made it through elections because they just did their homework. They were good in their district. They actually, delivered in Congress. They had a great political operation. As a majority, the best thing we can do to help them, and remember, 70–80% of our guys are safe. They're not going to change. So those people need to help the committee, help their colleagues. The people that are on the point, fortunately, are some of our very best members. I always say, you might beat a Barbara Comstock or a Mike Kaufman in Denver, Barbara in Northern Virginia, or Carlos Cabello, but you better bring your A game and your best candidate because those people are just terrific at what they do, and they're great members of Congress. So, I know we're in a fight. I told our people literally the day after the election, get ready. Nobody's had a good midterm since 2002. So we have to be ready, and our job would be up here legislatively to produce and politically to prepare.
So I talked to one smart Republican strategist who said to me the fear he has is that Steve Bannon's going to tell the president, Ed Gillespie didn't go nationalist enough. You need a trade war. You need to rip up NAFTA. That's what you need to do. That'll galvanize the base. That'll send a message. And this person said that to me, worried that that would be the advice the president would take. If Steve Bannon came to you saying, hey, this will galvanize the base, we need a good trade war, a little more economic nationalism, what would you say to him?
I'd say take a hike. Honestly, you don't run national policy on the basis of what's good for you politically. You try to do the right thing for the country. Fortunately, I think the president's broadly done that, and I think he's surrounded by some very good people. Look, I'm a big admirer of General McMaster's. I'm a big admirer of General Kelly. I'm a big admirer of my friend, former Congressman Michael Pompeo at the CIA. I think Rex Tillerson is hugely underrated. So, those are the people I think will give him good advice. And frankly, the president's taken good advice when he's gotten it. He's done more on North Korea than any other president before him. I think, honestly, his stance on Afghanistan showed great maturity of judgment. He actually changed his position, having heard the arguments. So, I haven't seen him fall for those sorts of things. I don't think he'll fall if he gets that kind of advice again. Again, you don't run the country on the basis of trying to win an election. You try to do what's right for the country, and then you will win the election. All
right, put your pollster hat on for me. This is now, look, last year, Donald Trump got 46% of the country. He didn't get 50%. Obviously, neither did Hillary Clinton. But what I'm getting at here is, how does the Republican Party become a 50% plus one party without supporting the suburbs of America, particularly the suburbs of the Sun Belt and Mid-Atlantic and places like that?
Well, you have to produce. You have to actually follow through on the commitments you've made. I actually think tax reform is a huge opportunity and challenge for the Republican Party.
Do you have to go away from social issues? Do you think there's been too much on the social and cultural front that's turning off suburban America?
No, I wouldn't look at it that way. It depends on what part of suburban America. But the bottom line is you have to deliver. And look, we've done a lot in this Congress, particularly in the House. We've done a lot more legislatively than we get credit for. But there's three big home run opportunities. Health care, and we didn't do it. We swung and we missed. When the Senate couldn't get it done, honestly, that really endangered our majority in the House, in my view. Tax reform, we will get it through the House. The question will be the Senate.
Yep.
I think they'll be there. If they do, then that's a big win. Finally, some sort of infrastructure bill. And then you got to make the government work. You got to do the routine things of funding government. I think we can get that done, too, by the end of the year. So, again, our fate's in our own hands. But I think you're foolish not to recognize it's a midterm. Nobody does well in midterms. We're going to have a lot of challenges. So individually, be ready. Your committee's got to be ready. But most of all, you got to deliver for the American people.
Tom Cole, some straight talk from you, Republican from Oklahoma. I always appreciate when you coming on. I could talk politics with you for a long time. Anyway, good to see you, sir. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
And we'll be right back.